And here she is, the wonderful Dr. Leslie Phillips.
Welcome, listeners, to tonight's episode of Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Leslie and Corey.
Hello,
We
everybody.
Hello, and we broadcast from 101.7 FM across the Fraser Valley from the unceded territory of the Stolo Nation. We also stream on most major podcasting platforms, and we broadcast on our Awaken Your Psychic Abilities Facebook group and my YouTube channel. So there's lots of different ways that you can catch the show. If you're tuning in for the first time, Unlocking Your Truth is a talk show about metaphysics and spirituality. And every week we have a different discussion topic under the general umbrella of all things spiritual and psychic. And of course, because it's a talk show, we invite audience participation. And so we have people in our chat room who are on Facebook and my YouTube channel who are able to input their questions live as we go through the topic of the day. And they are welcome to get a spiritual insight, a psychic reading about their questions.
Yay.
Now, this year on Unlocking Your Truth, we've been doing a series on intuition and chakras in celebration of my book, which is called Intuition and Chakras, which came out this year. And one of the things that I'm doing in the book is talking about all of the different amazing ways that you can receive intuitive information. So it's giving you the full picture on 22 different psychic abilities and their relationship with the chakra system, because a lot has been written about the chakras and healing the chakras and clearing the chakras, but not so much has been written on how the chakras relate to psychic abilities. And so I wanted to share that information, and that's one of the reasons I wrote the book. Another reason I wrote the book is because the number one question I get from my clients, people who are coming to me for readings, is what's my purpose? Why am I here? And I know that the very best way for you to tune into your purpose is to have access to your own intuition, because your intuition is a roadmap to that purpose, not only because you can use your psychic abilities to tune into your higher being and get answers to your questions, but also because you have a unique profile of psychic abilities that relate directly to your life purpose. And by understanding that unique psychic ability blueprint, you can gain a much deeper understanding into yourself and your purpose this lifetime. So,
Next week, I am bringing banners and whistlers and noisemakers for the celebration,
oh, that's great.
celebrating the book.
That's great. And I think we're almost at the end of the series. And so if you're tuning in tonight and you missed all of the other episodes on intuition and chakras, you can find them on drlesliephillips.com/category podcast. We have 5 years worth of podcast episodes, radio show episodes available there. And you can catch the full intuition and chakras series. So today, the topic is all about manifestation and the hand chakras. So we've been through all the main 7 chakras now, from the first chakra to the crown chakra. And we've talked about all of the different psychic abilities that are channeled through those energy centers.
Yeah. By the way, that's 7, that's 10.
Did I do well?
Yeah,
For
you
those
can.
for people listening on the radio, that doesn't make any sense at all. But apparently, I put 10 fingers up when I said 7.
I was reading today that the hand actually has 7 or 8 chakras itself.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there are lots of chakras all over the body. That's true. The main chakra in the hands is in the palms,
Yeah.
palm chakras in the center of the hand. But there's actually energy centers on your fingertips, and they actually are connected up to your major 7 chakras. So in some ways, an advanced reading technique is actually to be able to use those connections with the fingertips and the other chakras. That's actually not what we're going to talk about today. We wanted to talk about the main chakras in the palms of the hands, and they relate to manifestation. They relate to how you create your reality in the physical world. So you're actually channeling energy down your arms. There's energy channels in your arms, and they come out in the palms of your hands. And that energy traveling down your arms relates to your creative force, your creative energy, and also your healing energy. And so you can channel those energies through those energy centers in the palms of your hands in order to energize things that you are creating, in order to feel energy, and in order to manipulate energy. So that's what tonight's topic is all about. And like I said, there are episodes about 22 psychic abilities. This is about number 21. So if you're late tapping into the series, you want to catch all those previous episodes where we talk about all of these other amazing psychic abilities. But like I said, today is about manifestation and the hand chakras. And I usually like to just read an excerpt from the book because that gets us in the mood really for the discussion. So I think that's probably what I'll do next.
I think what I'll do is I'll go on to YouTube tomorrow and create a category in YouTube, a channel in YouTube, and I'll put all the past ones. I'll copy them into that channel so that everybody can, not the channel, but the playlist, and everybody can just go in there if they want to watch them.
Sounds like a great idea.
Yes,
Yeah,
I think
great.
so too. Sorry to disturb
Okay,
you, Dr. Leslie, but go right
that's all
ahead.
right. And anyway, for those of you who've bought the book, and I know a lot of you that follow this podcast have, there's actually 2 places within the book where we talk about manifestation. The publisher had me put a section in the front of the book about the law of attraction, which is on about page 30. But then there's also a section nearer the end of the book where we're talking about other chakras that we haven't yet addressed. And that section's on page 179 of the book. So, manifestation refers to your ability to create your own reality. You do this unconsciously until you learn to do it consciously. That means we are all creating our reality all the time, whether we know it or not. And we do it through the energy that we're broadcasting, the energy that we're putting out into the world. So whatever is in your energy field, that's creating your signal out into the world, and that is informing what gets created. That's why healing is so important. It's so important to cleanse and clear your energetic space so that you can create the life that you want. Okay, so then it says your creative energy flowing through your hand chakras is used to create in this reality. And it makes sense when you think about it because you use your physical hands to create all the time, whether you're cooking dinner, driving your car, writing a note, painting a picture. We use our hands to create, we use our hands to interact with the physical matter and to manipulate it and to create through it. And like I was just saying, there's energy channels in your arms where healing and creative energies flow. and it flows out into the world through these energy centers in the palms of your hands. They help you create the energy blueprint of what you are manifesting. They channel your healing energy and they help you sense energy. And by feeling energy, you can also determine how you might like to change it. Your hand chakras also help you give and receive. And so if you're right-handed, you would tend to have your right hand and your right hand chakra as a giving or sending hand, and your left chakra as a receiving hand, and vice versa. So usually your dominant hand is the sending hand. So everything in your life is your creation. What manifests for you relates to your energy, your intentions, your beliefs, your thoughts, and your actions. And it's great to be aware of all of that so you can change them if you don't support what you want. And actually, I'll just mention, I am right now in the middle of creating a fantastic course called Manifestation Mastery. And I'm taking a number of students through that course right now. We're about halfway through, and they're getting some amazing results. And the first few modules are working on exactly what I just said. What is it do you want to create? And then where is your vibration? And is your vibration a match for what you want to create? And then the next module is, so they monitor their vibration for a week. You know, where's my vibration? What am I feeling now? And then the next week they monitor their thoughts. What kinds of thoughts am I having? Negative or positive thoughts? And are they supporting what I want to create? And then the next week, belief systems. What are you believing? And so we start off going through all of that and breaking down and clearing and dismantling the non-supportive energy frequencies, thoughts, emotions, and belief systems before we move on to some very advanced manifestation techniques, which are not, there is, actually, I'm not sure that I've got a manifestation technique in the book. I do in my Unlock Your Intuition course, which starts in January, and that's a prerequisite for the manifestation course, by the way.
You know,
Anyway,
I think I just realized something, that when people talk about manifestation, they mostly talk about creating this stuff out here. But as human beings, we have so much negativity running through our minds on a consistent basis, so much negative thought. And it's hard to get ourselves out of that ego mind. And every time somebody says something, we weigh it against what we think of ourselves and self-judge. I think manifestation is important, but I think what you're doing there is even more important than teaching people how to manifest, to set intentions and manifest, because once you get that cleared up, manifestation is almost a natural a natural response to getting rid of the negativity.
yeah, and you can, you know, direct your intentions and consciously manifest. But I would say that you can't have one without the other. You have to clean up your energy in order to have really good results with manifestation.
Honeybee
And
says, that can be frustrating for me sometimes. I need to listen to this because I need to get back on course with my self-care, love, and etc.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what matters. Put yourself first, love yourself first, and everything else follows from that. But if you give your energy away and you drain yourself and you're constantly putting others first, um, then that's not a good recipe for manifesting the life that you want, because you've not got your energy available for you and you're not vibrating in resonance with what it is that you want to create.
Well, which course is that, Dr. Leslie, so I can look it up and put the link on there so people can take a look at it.
Well, it'll be hard for you to find the link. It's called Manifestation Mastery, and the best way to find that, because it's not on the website yet, it is on the School of Intuition website though, and because I am halfway through creating it with a group of my long-term students,
Mhm.
I haven't actually written it up yet or put it on the website, but I'll be launching it in January.
Okay.
Like I
So I
said,
won't bother then.
a prerequisite is to take Unlock Your Intuition, which is also starting in January. And so anyone who's really interested in the manifestation course should check out the Unlock Your Intuition course, because I want you to take that first. In fact, that's really the entry course to all of my more advanced psychic development courses. Okay, so I was looking at what I put in my book about manifestation and talking about it. So let me get back to that. Well, let's see. I always have a section where we talk about you and where you're at with a psychic ability and whether you've, what your experiences are. And there is a section to find out if you're a good manifester. And I guess it segues from what we were just saying. So maybe I'll go to that little excerpt next. The ingredients to conscious manifestation include the following steps in the creation process. First of all, you have to know what you want. It sounds obvious, doesn't it? But a lot of people don't know what they want. And that relates often to being a people pleaser. So if you've been taught that you have to be a people pleaser and you have to put everybody else first, then you can be focusing on everyone else's needs and completely lose connection with your own needs. So that's the first step. And I'll talk about some other steps when we come back after these messages. So if you're newly tuning in on the Facebook group, we're recording the radio show, and that means that every once in a while, we leave a space for a commercial break, and that's what we're doing now.
And that we are.
Welcome back, listeners. You're tuning in to Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Leslie and Corey. And tonight's episode's about manifestation. And it's another episode in our series on intuition and chakras, which celebrates my book of the same name that came out this year, Intuition and Chakras. And in the book, we go through how intuition relates to the chakra system and how intuition is channeled through the chakras and how there's 22 different psychic abilities. So tonight we're talking about manifestation. We're talking about the hand chakras. And before the break, I'd started to talk about some of the ingredients for being a good manifester. And the first one was knowing what you want. And we were saying, isn't it amazing? Because often people don't know what they want. And the reason they don't know what they want is that they've been so focused on other people. They've been taught to put themselves last, and they don't even know that that's a thing, that they're entitled to want anything. If you deny your needs and give your energy to others and have no clue about what to manifest, then you won't score high on the conscious manifestation scale. What you'll end up doing is you will end up creating things for other people. And other people will be creating through your space, and all your energy and creativity will be going into that. So if you don't believe you can, here's another one. If you don't believe you can have what you want, you will fall down due to feelings of self-doubt, low self-esteem, and unworthiness. So you have to believe you can have what you want. And so many people, when they're little, are programmed, no, you can't have that. No, if you can only have it if you're good. Oh no, you weren't good, so you can't have it. And that gets hardwired into the system, and we take it forward with us as adults. We develop
so easy to do.
Yeah, feelings of low self-esteem, self-doubt, and unworthiness. And if you harbor those kinds of energies and beliefs about yourself, that's part of the signal that you're broadcasting to the universe, and it is going to, at the very least, slow down the rate at which you manifest things that you want, or even keep them from you completely. This is why I advocate being on a self-healing path while you're developing all of your psychic abilities. You have to heal yourself. You have to clear your energy. So, and then I also said, second, your creativity is supported by spirit. All you have to do is speak up and ask. But for some people, asking for what they want and trusting the universe to provide for their needs isn't easy. And then the next thing is letting go and allowing the universe to do its work. This means not trying to control your creations and not setting limits on exactly how they must be delivered. Because so often we think when people, when they get into doing conscious manifesting, obsess on it and their energy's all over it. The problem is you can only conceive of so much. You can only conceive of a limited number of ways in which something can come to you. And so you need to leave a little opening for the universe. You need to leave an opening for what you're asking for to come with you in ways that you can't yet imagine, in forms that you can't yet imagine. Because you have a limited perspective. God or divine source energy or the great all that is has an unlimited perspective. And so if you're open to that, if you surrender to that, then there are more infinite ways in which something can come to you. So if you're not limited by any of the challenges I just mentioned, then you're doing well. So stand by and be prepared for what happens next. Recognize your creation when it comes. Having expectations of what your creation should look like places limits on what you would allow yourself to receive. For example, if the universe delivers a blue-eyed lover and you wanted a brown-eyed beauty, you might turn away a fabulous partner. So that's an example of being too prescriptive about what you want. Allow yourself to have, some people are great at creating what they want, but they have issues deserving them and won't let themselves receive their creations when they arrive. And allow yourself to have it and allow yourself to enjoy it and hold on to it and relish it, because some people only experience their creation for a moment before it slips through their fingers. Or they don't allow themselves the luxury of enjoying what they created. Instead, they bypass it and move on to the next thing.
We got a whole bunch of questions, Dr. Leslie, if you're interested in
Well, yeah,
taking
that
some of them
sounds good.
before you get
Sure.
too far ahead. Okay, Letitia says, it's hard to get out of that negative mind. I do notice a big difference and catch myself when I'm becoming negative and correct it. I knew I was negative before, but never stopped it in the moment before now.
So, in a way, that sounds like a comment more than a question, but
Yeah.
that's great, Letitia. Exactly. That's exactly what you need to do. It is become so self aware that you are witnessing your thoughts as they happen and catching yourself before you spiral down too much into those negative thought patterns or those negative emotional vibrations.
And love yourself for finding those negative things and appreciating everything about yourself. And the more you do that, the less they'll come up.
That's right. And appreciation is one of the keys for successful manifesting, because that's such a positive, high vibration. Appreciation and gratitude, that's a vibration that draws things to you. Feeling gratitude, feeling appreciation. If you just get into that vibe with me now, everybody, of just feel appreciative, feel thankful, feel grateful, and you'll know as you move into that vibration, you'll sense it. It's very magnetizing to move into that vibration of appreciation. So good point, Corey.
Yeah. And so Anne says, I seem to be falling off course in my spiritual awakening. Maybe it comes in stages. Negativity has returned.
Yeah, it does come in stages, really, for everybody. Stages of growth and change, cycles of growth and change. And really, as long as we're alive in a physical body on this planet, we're going through cycles of growth and change. And so you will clear some layers of the onion and you will feel really good. And then another layer of the onion will come up and you will have to face something else or face something on a deeper level. So the trick is not to beat yourself up, not to judge yourself, not to feel wrong or bad or like you haven't succeeded, but just realize that that is part of the path that we're walking on planet Earth. It's a planet of polarity. It's, you know, as we walk our path on this planet, there are ups and downs that we go through. There is an unfolding that takes place. We never reach this pinnacle on the top of a mountain where we say, now I have, achieved the ultimate success, and I never have to have a negative thought or feel a negative emotion or 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 a low vibration ever again. You know, there's usually something. The trick to being a master is, instead of being, you know, the ups and downs, being really, you know, high amplitude, that you learn ways, energy techniques that help you manage it so you get a much smoother ride. So you catch yourself, just as Letitia was saying, you catch yourself before it goes too far and then you bring yourself back.
But you know, people are interesting. Like you could say if you paint a picture and you show it to 100 of your friends and 99 of them say, that's gorgeous, it's beautiful, I love it. And then one friend says, oh, come on, that's lousy. What do you go away thinking? Oh, 99 people love my picture? No, most
No,
people go away thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? It's not nice. That person didn't like my picture.
it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. That's because we naturally fall into that negativity. It's terrible. So I've got Honeybee now. Honeybee, and Honeybee is a first timer. She says, if you're in a room filled with negative energy, you give yourself space from it, but energy surface back to you more and more every day. How can that be solved when it's a place of work?
Non-resistance, being in a space, a state of non-resistance. So imagine yourself like the invisible woman, and all those negative energies, they're just going to flow through you and not stick to you. But the moment you resist them, they persist and they stick to you, and then you start matching them, and then it brings you down into that same vibrational state that you are resisting. So the trick is, again, to observe it, know it's there, don't match it, allow it to be released. And there are lots and lots of amazing energy techniques in my book that would help you with that. The book's called Intuition and Chakras. There's also a free meditation we mention every time on the show on the website that teaches you grounding, and that will help you to be non-resistant, and it will help you to release the negative foreign energy. So that's my answer, Honeybee, and I hope that helps you.
Okay. So this is from Letitia. And Letitia says, I've definitely been a people pleaser, aka a doormat, a majority of my life. I'm learning how to be less of a people pleaser and put more focus on myself.
Fantastic. It sounds like you're doing great, Letitia.
Okay, I got to go back. I have to somehow, I've come out of the comments. I got to go back to the comments here.
So while you do that, maybe I will talk, talk about a story. Every chapter in this book where we talk about different psychic abilities, there's one or even up to 3 examples of clients of mine, people I've worked with, my students and so on, some of their personal stories in working with the energy techniques and in, you know, improving their life experience. So here's one to do with manifestation. So it's called Andrew Let's Go of Manifestation Blocks. And when meditating on how I could best help Andrew, I intuitively heard him say, I put the world in my heart and now my heart is missing. His main challenge was taking responsibility for others, judgment, and giving so much that he was unbalanced. So he's basically taking in for everybody else and wanting to help everyone else, so that he got so out of balance. He was a natural born healer who also had blocks in manifesting. It's a common issue for natural healers to take on the energy of those they wish to heal. This is due to the mistaken belief that they have more power and healing ability than their subjects, so they must take on other people's wounds to heal them. This doesn't help the healer or the person being healed. It just means that the healer's space accumulates other people's pain and they start creating their reality through it. A little bit like what Honeybee was asking about. Andrew's energy was going more into helping others than for himself. Plus, when he did create something, he didn't hold on to it for very long. He ended up giving it away or allowing others to take it. He had a judgment about being taken advantage of over money, especially as he was going through an acrimonious divorce. And his business was impacted by his pain, and he wasn't attracting as many clients as before. So he got himself into a negative energy spiral. This is just what we're talking about. He was going through a divorce. His wife was after him for all his money. He was leeching out money. He didn't see the point of earning more money because it was all going somewhere else. And because his energy was on his business took on the energy imprint of him in that negative state. And the business stopped attracting clients. So the solution to that was, one of the solutions was for him to pull his energy back off his business and allow his business to have its own unique vibration. That's what a lot of people do. So any of you small business owners out there, notice if because it's your creation, is your energy all over it? Because if your energy is all over it, then that creation is going to itself manifest in the way that you do. So if you write a book, if you create a course or create any other product or any other business, give birth to it, allow it to go out into the world and pull your energy back, just like as though you were having a child. So anyway, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, I worked with Andrew and we worked on balancing his giving and receiving and helping him to let go of his judgment and, to redress that problem that I was just talking about. I think I've given you time to catch up there on the questions.
Oh yeah, yeah, no problem at all.
Cool.
So Celia says, "Hi Leslie, I can't find my wallet right now. Any chance you give me some tips to help me manifest it? Further to that, I lose things a lot and spend a lot of time looking for my keys. Any spiritual insights into why I have this pattern?"
Well, so if I lose anything, and I can talk to Celia, that Celia's taken knows a lot of these energy techniques that I'm talking about. The first thing I do is actually I get my healing guide to come and connect with my hand chakras. And then I walk around the house feeling the energy with my hand chakras, just so we're talking about hand chakras in the show, So you can actually use your ability to feel energy through your hands as you walk around your house. Is it in my bedroom? Is it in my living room? Give you a clue as to where you've left your wallet. So ask one of your guides. You can hire a manifestation guide or a healing guide and ask the guide to help you find it. And let go of any stress that you're feeling so that you can tap into your intuition about where it is. And then anything to help you understand that pattern, let's tune into your energy. Well, the first thing I see is, and it looks like the word I would use to describe that pattern is chaos. It's like there's a tornado or a chaotic circling of energy going on around you. And I think it's this idea of having too many balls in the air and not being able to control and juggle everything. So it looks like it happens when you are at your busiest with your greatest number of things that you're having to think about and be in charge of. And so I would say, actually, it's relating to a control issue. And if you let go of the need to control everything, and also pull your energy more into the present moment, so you're not juggling all those past, present, future balls around in the air, and just sort of surrender and trust the flow of the universe. And I guess another way of saying it is clear your energy field, because it just looks like there's just this chaos swarming around your energy field. So ground and release the chaos, get centered, get grounded, and focus your energy on being in your space rather than out there in this cloud of chaos, because you're the attraction point. You're the magnet. So be in your space, have your energy focused there, and release the confusion and chaos. So that's what I would say. Hope that's helpful, Celia. Oh, we've got to go to another break. Listeners, you've been tuning in to Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Leslie and Corey, and it is time for a few more messages before we continue with the rest of the show. Welcome back, listeners. You are tuning in to Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Leslie and with Corey.
Hello.
And tonight's show is about manifestation. We're talking about the relationship with your hand chakras and manifestation, because that is one of the things that I talk about in my book, Intuition and Chakras.
Okay, next question. By the way, Celia says, thank you, Leslie and Corey. That was super fun to get help with my losing things. Wonderful. Hope you find your wallet, Celia. I'm sure you will.
I hope you find it by the end of the show. Let us know if you do.
No, stay with the show. Let us know next week. So this is from Anne. Anne says, how can I clear my energy in a more concentrated way? My self-esteem is very low and ego is interfering in everything.
So more concentrated way than what?
That she's doing now, apparently.
Yeah. So grounding is a very concentrated, focused way of shifting your energy and releasing what isn't working for you, and helping you reset the energy in a more positive vibe and a higher vibe. So if you have not yet downloaded the grounding meditation from my website, I suggest that you do that and you practice that technique.
And the link is on in the comments. So if you guys want to just copy that link, you can.
And you can use the
that.
grounding to let go of low self-esteem and unworthiness and all of those low vibrations.
Okay, you ready for the next question?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad. If you weren't, I'd be upset. It would destroy me. Mark says, what are the best practices to balancing and unblocking your chakras?
Okay. That's not something that I could fully answer on the radio show. That's something that I teach in my Unlocking Your Intuition course.
Because it's
So,
too
yeah.
entailed in one way. But a good start is the grounding meditation as well.
That's what I was going to say. A really good start is download that grounding meditation. Because with the grounding, you can change anything. So you can be, I am releasing down my grounding any blocks in my first chakra. I am releasing down my grounding any blocks in my second chakra, and so on. So learn the grounding technique and use the grounding technique to heal and clear actually anything. So, or I am releasing whatever is keeping my sixth chakra unbalanced down my grounding. So that's what I would recommend as a starting point. But if you want to learn more about balancing your chakras, there are additional techniques in the book, Intuition and Chakras, for running energies through your system. And then in my Unlocking Your Intuition course, we do work on balancing the chakras. And also we do in some of the more advanced courses, energy techniques where we balance and unblock the chakras. So we're working with the clairvoyance, we're working with visualization, we're working with manipulating energy. And it's not something that I can answer in 30 seconds on the show, but I have everything available to you to go into that as deeply as you wish, starting with the free grounding technique.
So Anne says, well, you had mentioned healing guide. So Anne says, healing guide, question mark. How do they work?
Okay, very cool. So just as there are all sorts of different people on Earth who are into different things, there's a whole universe of energy beings who specialize in different things. So like I mentioned earlier, you could find yourself a guide that loves helping people manifest things. And that could be your manifestation guide. Your healing guide is a guide who specializes in healing and perhaps enjoys working with humans and helping them to heal. So, you know, again, like in my courses, we work with guides all the time. I teach you how to recognize your guides, how to invite your guides, how to hire guides, recruit guides, and do so in a safe fashion. But the healing guide is a specific guide that you work with and develop a relationship with to do healings. So I have a fantastic healing guide. And anytime anybody comes to receive a healing from me, I'm working with my healing guide on that person's energy, and I'm communicating with my healing guide, because sometimes I don't see everything, and I ask my healing guide, is there anything I've missed? And then he will often show me some additional things. So that gives you a little bit of an overview of what a healing guide is. It's an energy being that specializes in helping us heal. So I hope that answers your question. Oh, I see Corey's talking, but he's on mute. Oh.
Isn't that the way you like it?
No, not on the radio show.
So Andrini says, hi, Leslie. Why is it easier for me to manifest, get what I want, when I was younger than nowadays, whilst actually I need it more now?
That's a really good question. And I wonder at what point in your life it switched. And I think with you, it might relate to your family, right? Because you're a mum, you've got 3 daughters. And so, you know, maybe it was easier for you to manifest earlier because you weren't pouring all your energy into everybody else. But I'll take a look at that. And I, you know, Anderini's been to me for sessions for lots of years. And so we've talked about it before, but I just think that it's foreign energy in your space as well. So, you know, maybe a little bit of your ex-husband's energy gets in the way from time to time. So the more that you can own your space, pull your energy back to you, everything that we're talking about now, the easier it is. It's sort of like when you were younger, you were unblemished, you were untainted. You didn't have all of these pulls on your energy and time that you have now. And so you have a bigger challenge in owning your space now. And I think that that is what it relates to.
That's it.
Yep.
I have something
Cool.
on that one. So, Anderini, listen to what you've asked. Hi, Leslie. Why was it easier for me to manifest, get what I wanted when I was younger than nowadays? Whilst actually I need it more now. Look at your statement. Your statement is telling yourself that you can't get it now. You used to get it, but you're not getting it anymore. Why not? So you've gone into a place of basically non-belief. You may want, but you're not believing that you
Yeah.
can. So at some point, like Dr. Leslie said, at some point you made the shift. You flipped over from I believe I can have it to oh, it's not going to come easily to me. So you need to shift. You need to shift that mindset if you're going to start manifesting again. Truly manifest it. And also take a serious look at whether or not some of how you're asking, how detailed you're asking, the for the or setting the intention, how detailed you are in setting the intention, and whether or not it actually is coming but passing you by. As Dr. Leslie said, you're looking for that beauty with blue eyes, but somebody with brown eyes comes by.
Or your
And
daughter's saying, I don't like him.
yeah, something like that. And it's I mean it's very simple to slip out of that belief system. Very simple. It's so much easier to fall out of it than to get into it in one way. But you have the answers. You have the answers. Just do the work. You need to do some of the work again. Start a little bit from scratch. And it because I don't know if you folks who have been on the show for a few, I love this topic, manifestation, because it is real. It does work. And if you don't believe it working, look back in your life. Look back at your life. Look at all the negative doors that closed and the ones that opened after it closed when you said, I want something different. Look at how that's worked in your life. And you'll see that manifestation is real and you are responsible for it. That's the other key issue. You are responsible for it. You're the one that's in charge. So you need to look at it seriously if it's not working for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, next question is Callie from Cali. And Kelly says, I have a broken finger bone and it will never bend again. Does this affect my energy flow?
That's a very interesting question.
Yes, it is. That's why she asked it.
Well, I'm seeing it does affect your energy flow in your finger where it's broken. And I'm wondering, what finger is it? Will you tell us what finger it is? I think it's your index finger, but let us know what finger it is. And we'll take a more specific look when we know for sure what finger it is.
Okay. Brian says, Dr. Leslie, can you see if I have any manifesting blocks?
I can take a look for you, Brian. You're not grounded enough. That's the first thing that comes up. I see that you've got all of this enthusiasm and energy for things that you want to create, and a belief that it's going to work out for you. But, we can have all of that out there in the non-physical realm, in the realm of thought and thought projections. But in order to manifest it in physical reality, we need to be really, really grounded so that it can come through us and come to us, because this is your attraction point in physical reality. So first thing is ground more than you are doing. And second thing is there's something else going on. I almost want to say get in present time with what it is that you want to create, because it looks like there's a backlog of old creations. a backlog. It's almost like there's a movie reel of images, and it's all the things that you've wanted to manifest forever. And so it looks like choose what you want to manifest now. What are the things that are relevant to you right here, right now? And focus on attracting those first. Because as spirit, we're infinite. In a body, we're not infinite. So you might have 10 projects, for example, that you want to manifest. But if you try to manifest them all in parallel through the physical, you'd overwhelm yourself. So part of it is just choosing what you're choosing now, and then what you're choosing next. And I think there might be some more things that we could pick up for you. And so if you wanted a longer session on that, you'd be welcome to. But it looks like you're a good manifester. You just need to sort a few things out, really.
Okay. Callie says it's the middle finger on the left hand.
Oh, it's the middle finger on the left hand. Huh. Well, to me, it feels like it has to do with, I want to say, boundary setting. People do this, don't they? If you just have just that middle finger of your left hand up, you can imagine that hand signal and what it means. It feels like it has to do with boundary setting and offering up resistance. So like, wanting to protect your space and protect your energy, and keep other people and their demands at bay. So it feels like there's an overall way in which we might read that block in the finger, and it has to do with feeling like you need to set boundaries and you need to be really firm with people and you need to protect yourself.
I'm sorry. There's a delay in the the presentation, and I was just watching the YouTube section, and all I do is see you with your finger up in the air, and I don't hear any voice. But
yeah, so it's interesting. So the question was, does my finger create an energy block? Yeah, and also it just feels like it cuts you, it sort of cuts you off from something as well. So I'm just going to look at what's it cutting you off from. What came up to say was it cuts you off from receiving more. Receiving and allowing, which is interesting, isn't it? Because if on one hand you're sort of keeping things at bay, then of course, then you're stopping yourself receiving. So it's got something to do with keeping things or people at a distance, which then involves you preventing them from coming in, and then it's blocking you from receiving certain things that otherwise you would receive. So I hope that helps.
Yep. And so that brings us to the end of the show, Dr. Leslie.
Oh.
And next week's show is about earth energy. And also, I was just looking at the schedule as far as Christmas is coming. So we will still probably be doing a show on the 22nd, but not on the 2nd of January.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Or
all right, so
on the 5th of January, I'm not sure.
Next week, I think that's the final one in our series on intuition and chakras, the feet chakras and earth energy. And I think after that, I'd just chosen some wild cards, like doing a show on mediumship, which that's a word that's so popular and bandied about. But what does it actually mean? All right.
Okay.
Well, I've enjoyed the show tremendously, and look forward to. Hope you will all come back next week, 7 o'clock Pacific time.
Bye bye now.
Bye, everybody.